It's time to tackle one of the toughest questions in canoe racing. What speed is actually fast? I'm going to use real results from Canton Canoe Weekend to help start an objective conversation on the topic.
Yeah.
The reason it's so hard to discuss speed in terms of canoe racing is because every course is different and every river is different. So different rivers will have different flow, and different races will be either full loop courses or just downstream courses or a combination of the both. This makes it very hard because your speed's going to be totally different going upstream than it is going downstream, and it's also going to be very different from a river that doesn't have much vertical drop as opposed to another river that has a lot of vertical drop. The reason I chose Canton Canoe Weekend is because, one, I have a GPS track of the race, so I have accurate distance, and two is because it is a full loop course. Now this course goes on the main river and then it also goes into the Little River, so it gives us a nice round estimation of what actual speeds are, and it's about a 2-hour race, so that's a good amount of time, a good judge, because it's not too short but it's also not too long of a race. I'm going to be breaking down 3 actual races, and this is going to be the 2015 C1 race, the 2015 C2 race, and the 2017 C2 race. The 2015 C1 race was 14.46 miles. First place was Andy Trebold with a time of 2 hours, 7 minutes, and 14 seconds. Second place was Steve Lajoie at 2 hours, 8 minutes, and 36 seconds. Fifth place, which was Goulian Blaze, at 2 hours, 10 minutes, 29 seconds. 10th place was Ben Schlimmer at 2 hours, 12 minutes, 33 seconds. 15th was his brother Michael Schlimmer at 2 hours, 15, 47. 20th was Adam Galinas at 2 hours, 17 minutes, and 53 seconds. And 30th place was Mike Packard, 2 hours, 28 minutes, and 28 seconds. I broke those down because those will give you a nice even measurement to see what's a 5th place racer going to be at and what's a 10th place all the way down to 30th. Now the speeds for these races are going to vary. So Andy Trebold's average mile per hour for that race was 6.83 miles per hour. In 5th place, Goulian Blaze was 6.66 miles per hour. And Mike Packard's down in 30th place was 5.85 miles per hour. I also broke it down in minutes per mile, so basically pace. Andy's pace is going to be an 8:47 average. Second place, Steve Lajoie, was an 8:52 pace. 5th place was a 9-minute pace. 20th place was a 9:31 pace. And 30th place was a 10:15 minute pace. I also went a step further and I broke down feet per second. Andy Trebold in that race was traveling 10.02 feet per second, as opposed to Mike Packard was doing 8.58 feet per second. Now, if we want to even take it one step further, I broke it down by if they did an average stroke rate of 70 strokes a minute or 65 or 75 strokes a minute. Just so if you're using a GPS monitor and you're tracking distance per stroke, this will help to get you in the ballpark. So at 70 strokes per minute, Andy was traveling 8.59 feet per second. If he was 65, which is going to be a little bit on the slower side, he's doing 9.25 feet per stroke. And if he was on the high side at 75, he was only traveling 8.01 feet per stroke. Let's go down to Adam Galinas. His feet per second was 9.24 feet per second. At 70 strokes per minute, he was at 7.92 feet per stroke. At 65 strokes a minute, he was 8.53 feet per stroke. Since I didn't compete in 2017 in the C1, I don't have that GPS data, and the course was, I think, slightly shorter, because I know the C2 race was slightly shorter. So with that being said, let's start breaking down the C2. In 2015, this race was also 14.46 miles. First place was Matthew Pellerin and Julian Blaze at a time of 2 hours, 1 minute, and 23 seconds. Now to note, that is around 6 minutes faster than the C1 time the previous day. Second place was Steve Lajoie and Matt Radinsky at 2 hours, 2 minutes, and 9 seconds. Fifth place was Michael Schlimmer and Samuel Frigon at 2 hours, 5 minutes, and 39 seconds. And 15th place was Scott Sherwood and Joe Schlimmer at 2 hours, 20 minutes, and 59 seconds. The speed breakdown for this, in first place would be 7.15 miles per hour. Fifth place, you're looking at 6.9 miles per hour. And 15th place was 6.15 miles per hour. For you guys that like minutes per mile or pace better, first place was 8 minutes 23 seconds per mile. Fifth place was 8 minutes 33 seconds per mile. And 15th place was 9 minutes 44 seconds per mile. First place also was 10.49 feet per second. 10th place, you go down to 9.71 feet per second. Now that you have that objective data, I want to look at the 2017 results. Now this race was 12.66 miles. They shortened up the course because of the water levels. It was higher. And you're also going to notice that the speeds were higher. First place was Steve Lajoie and Gillian Blaze with a time of 1:41.08, but their speed was 7.51 miles per hour, or a 7:59 pace. Second place was Jim Pellerin and Samuel Frigon at 1:45.08, and their average speed was 7.23 miles per hour. Fifth place was still at 6.96 miles per hour. 2 years prior, that was also the speed that fifth place was in. So the faster guys were faster, but that fifth place was still around the same speed. And 15th place was an hour and 55 minutes, and their average speed was 6.61 miles per hour. You can see that from year to year, the speed changed, even though it's on the same river. Flow of a river can dramatically change the speed, even on a loop course like this, okay? Now it becomes even more dramatic when you're talking about a race like the 70 or the Asabo, where they're all downstream, and they're downstream for long periods of time. The water levels can greatly change the speed in those races, and that's why I think it's a bad indicator of what actual, fast boats are actually performing at. Also, when we go out to train, we usually do loop courses, so it's better to have a loop course race to gauge speed off of, so that way when you're training, you know if you're actually going a decently fast pace or you're going to be in the back of the pack. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, like, subscribe, share. Until next time, guys, paddle hard.